Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a really important topic, something that pretty much every student feels at some point: academic burnout.
So have you ever had that feeling like your motivation has just hit a wall and is running on absolute empty? If you've ever felt totally drained by school, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get into it.
All right, first things first, we got to be clear on what we're actually talking about here. Because, academic burnout, it's not just about feeling tired. It's way, way more than that.
So the official definition talks about exhaustion from prolonged stress. But let's break that down. Imagine your energy is like a battery. Academic burnout is what happens when you're constantly draining that battery way faster than you can recharge it. It's not just a low battery day, it's like the battery itself is damaged. You're just completely out of juice.
And this is such a key distinction to make. Look at this. Simple tiredness, that's just part of life, right? You get a good night's sleep, you bounce back. But burnout, whoa, that's a whole different beast. It creeps up on you slowly, and a weekend of rest isn't going to cut it. The scariest part is that loss of interest, when the things you used to love just feel meh.
And if you think this is just a niche problem, think again. Look at this number. A 2021 report found that 68%, that's more than 2/3 of teenagers, feel overwhelmed by academic pressure at least once a week. Let that sink in. This isn't the exception. It's becoming the norm. Okay, so if it's that widespread, the big question is, why? What's actually driving this? Let's dig into the causes and triggers, the things that pile on until it all becomes too much.
Well, a big part of the problem actually starts with the system itself. Think about it. Massive academic loads, one exam after another, competitive environments where everyone's trying to one-up each other, and on top of all that, there's just no time to breathe. The curriculum is often so rigid there's no room for real rest and recovery.
And then, of course, there's the pressure we put on ourselves. This is a huge one. That little voice in your head that says everything has to be perfect, the intense fear of messing up or letting people down. Yeah, that's like pouring gasoline on the fire. And when you pile on too many extracurriculars, it's a recipe for disaster.
Finally, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. We've got pressure from parents who are hyper-focused on grades, the endless scroll of social media making us feel like we're not doing enough, and just these massive societal expectations about what success is supposed to look like. It's a lot.
All right, so we know what causes it, but what does it actually look like? How does burnout show up in your day-to-day life? Knowing the warning signs is absolutely crucial, whether it's for you or for someone you care about.
Your body often keeps the score. It's usually the first thing to send up a flare. We're not talking about just being sleepy. This is a bone-deep exhaustion where even a full night's sleep doesn't make a dent. And you might get those constant tension headaches, your sleep schedule gets all messed up, or you're either eating everything in sight or have no appetite at all.
Then there's the emotional side. You might find yourself snapping at people for no reason or feeling totally disconnected from everything. That class you used to love, now it just feels like a chore. That sense of cynicism and helplessness, that's a classic sign.
And it messes with your head, too. You try to study, but the words just blur together. You can't focus. Your grades might start to slip, even though you feel like you're trying so hard. You might start pulling away from your friends, skipping class. And procrastination? Oh yeah, it goes from a minor habit to your new full-time job.
Okay, that was a lot, I know. We've defined the problem, we've looked at the causes, we've spotted the signs, but here's the good news. This is not a life sentence. Let's pivot to the most important part. What can we actually do about it? Let's talk strategy. So if you're a student, listen up. You have more power here than you think. This is about reclaiming your balance. It means being deliberate. Actually schedule breaks into your calendar. Make a study plan that isn't just study, study, study. Try some simple mindfulness, and please let go of perfection. Aim for a good enough instead. It's a game changer. And look, here's a super simple 3-step reset you can literally do today. First, schedule a break. Put it in your phone, make it real. Second, take 5 minutes, just 5, to breathe and reset your brain. And third, ditch that massive to-do list that's stressing you out and just pick one small, achievable thing to get done. That's it. You can do that.
Of course, this isn't all on the students. Schools have a huge part to play. We're talking about things like building more flexibility into the curriculum, actually having counselors available, and teaching real-world skills like stress management. Imagine a school culture that promoted growth over just getting the highest grade. That would change everything.
And for the parents listening, you can make such a massive difference.
Try shifting the focus from the final grade to the effort they put in. Create a space where it's safe to talk about stress without judgment. And please, help them see that rest isn't lazy, it's productive, it's essential.
So the big idea here isn't just about putting out fires when you're already burned out. It's about building a whole new system. It's about creating a toolkit for yourself so you can achieve great things, but in a way that's actually sustainable for the long haul.
Okay, let's do a quick check-in. Take a look at these statements and just be honest with yourself. Where do you fall on a scale of 1 to 5? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just a tool to help you see where you might need to give yourself a little more attention.
And really, it all comes down to this. True excellence, the kind that lasts, isn't about sacrificing your well-being for achievement. It's the exact opposite. They go hand in hand. You absolutely have to take care of your mental health and motivation if you want to succeed in the long run. They aren't separate things. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. What's one small change, just one, that you can make this week to bring a little more balance into your life? Because that's where it all starts. Not with some huge dramatic change, but with one small, deliberate step. So, what's going to be?